What is up, everyone? It is Diecastbuffet here again. Guys, we have the 2024 Kyle Larson Coca-Cola 600 qualifying 164 diecast that came in a two-pack set with his IndyCar 164. We're going to be doing the diecast review on the number 5 Chevrolet, and let's hop to it. Alright folks, outside of the good old diecast box, and welcome to today's diecast review. Guys, what an incredible looking paint scheme we have in the studio today. The papaya orange, and then you have that blue and white Chevrolet Camaro. What a fantastic looking car, and easily one of my favorite Kyle Larson paint schemes of all time. It really reminds me of all the 2000s promotions we used to see with the Jeff Gordons. They would run a special Pepsi car. They would run a special Looney Tunes car. And it wasn't like every week. They would build it up months, maybe even a year in advance. Well, this car had a year worth of build up to it. Very, very nostalgic. So this is the Coca-Cola 600 qualifying 164. And I'll show the official box tag for it. It has the exact box tag on the little two-pack set here, except it does say Chevrolet Camaro on there. Let me show you. Let me turn it around. But it does say Chevrolet Camaro, even though one of them is not a Chevrolet Camaro. So the NASCAR one, of course, is. But regardless, let's go ahead and dive into the diecast review. So we got HendrickCars.com right there on the hood of the diecast. I don't know if this one's going to be released individually. I don't think so. I think it's exclusive to the two-pack set. So if you're a NASCAR fan and you want this car, you're going to have to pick it up in the two-pack set, which means you're going to have to compete with the IndyCar fans to get it as well. So don't be surprised this diecast set dries up eventually. Got the number 5 right there, Sudoku, Inter Motorsports, Sudoku. Go to the left side of the diecast. You have that patriotic wheels. And as I mentioned, this is the qualifying car. Technically, Kyle Larson didn't even turn a lap in the 2024 Coca-Cola 600, which really makes the 2024 just double. Pretty much one of the most insane things that's ever happened in motorsports history. You know, all the build up to it, all the pageantry, all the advertising, all the interviews. Every time he gets out of the Indy car, every time he gets out of the stock car, they're talking about the double. The build up from the All-Star race and just, you know, him going there and practicing and qualifying. And then he goes to Indy and then it rains. And then he goes to Charlotte and it's raining. And it's just, the way it ended too at Charlotte was so bittersweet because, in my honest opinion, they could have continued that Coca-Cola 600. I mean, I've seen NASCAR racing at 2 in the morning. I'm not saying it's good for ratings, but they absolutely had a great chance to do so. According to Fox, it was the humidity that the reason they couldn't run, which I'm going to be honest with you. From what I seen that night from the fans posting at the racetrack, that track was almost ready to race. I'm just going to shoot you straight on it. It was pretty darn dry about 30 minutes after they called it. Got Kyle Larson there. Got the 2 race win stickers. Valvoline, number 40. Got the B Post decal there, number 5. Goodyear, Cup Series, NASCAR Salutes, HendrickCars.com. I think they might have offered, or they were going to offer the raced version for the Coca-Cola 600, but that one kind of got pooped on. So technically, if you wanted to make a raced version, it wouldn't be a Kyle Larson diecast at all. It'd be Justin Allgaier, because Justin Allgaier drove the number 5 in the Coke 600, and he actually did a pretty darn good job. I mean, driving a Xfinity car compared to a Cup car in the current day NASCAR world is very different. It's not, you know, back in the Gen 5 era when they ran pretty much the same chassis. No, they're, you know, if you're good in the Gen 6 car, you're probably going to be pretty good in the Xfinity car because they run the same chassis just about. The Cup cars are literally sports cars. That's what they are. You know, the entire carbon fiber bottom. What do they have? A transaxle, I think that's what they have. The Xfinity cars have the transmission. They have just one less gear. I mean, there is so many differences between the race cars themselves, and Justin Allgaier did a great job. And naturally, he went on to win the championship. So maybe the extra seat time helped him out a little bit for the NASCAR Xfinity campaign. But Larson's going to attempt the double in 2025. This is obviously filmed well before then. Hopefully, it goes well. It was a crazy thing because I remember watching the Coca-Cola 600 in 24 and watching it. And at the same time, the Indy 500 was on. So I'm watching one of the Penske drivers go out there and lead laps in the closing, 10, 20 laps. And meanwhile, the Coca-Cola 600 is underway. I have never seen both races ran at the same time. And that very well could be the last time, or that could be the first time since, I want to say, the early 90s that both races were ran at the same time. Because if you don't know, Charlotte Motor Speedway, they used to not have lights, so it forced them to run the Coca-Cola 600 the same time as the Indy 500, I believe, which was Memorial Day weekend that Sunday. Got Larson right there in the back window. We got Aaron McLaren, H1100, and HendrickCars.com on the deck lid. Guys, what an incredible looking diecast here. If you're wondering why we're doing the 164 review after we've done a diecast review of both of them, the idea is to have separate videos to give you, the consumer, options on what y'all want to watch. Because I've done this in the past with some of the diecast sets, and I noticed people like to watch them individually as well. And I think it's actually easier to consume if they're kind of spread out. So if you want to watch both of them in one video, I have a video dedicated to that for a full unboxing of how this thing is and all that such. But if maybe you're not an IndyCar fan, maybe you just don't care. Maybe you just want to see the stock car, and vice versa. Maybe you don't care about NASCAR and you want to see the IndyCar diecast. I'll be doing a diecast review on that individually as well. So the point is, it gives you, the consumer, options. So if you want to see both cars in one video, you can. If you want to see them individually, that's your prerogative. And that's what I kind of like to do. I like to give you, the consumer, the viewer, options. So that's the reason why we're doing separate videos for it. I did this with the Hendrick Motorsports 4-pack Darlington set, where I did video on all the cars, and then I did a separate video that had all 4 of them in one. So it gives you options, and the data shows that people like to watch that as well. I see the analytical data, so I just kind of want to clear that up. That is all for now. Thank you all so much for watching the video. Have a blessed one, everybody. And yeah, this little tag here, it's actually like a sticker that's over, I think, the original age thing for it. I think in 2023/2024, they are, let me backtrack. I think in 2023, they had age 3 and up, something like that. And this diecast, a clean version with no patriotic logos, technically released at the end of 2023. As I mentioned, this was a promotion that was done very much in advance. So the reason why that they put the little tag on there is they probably made a crap load of this exact box, and instead of editing it and having to change it all, they just put a little tag over it to update the age rating on it. They've done this in the past. They did it on a 2004 Johnny Sauter 124 where they covered up the driver name rail. If you look really closely, you'll see a little sticker over, I think it was Johnny Sauter's name, because Jeff Burton was actually driving the car when that diecast released. Something like that. So the diecast industry has done that before. It's nothing new. That's all for now. Have a blessed one. Diecast Buffet signing off.